Hi, my name is Ruth. I am interviewing Nadra for my class. Good evening, Nadria. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Nice to meet you again.
Nice to meet you again too.
How was your day actually? Did you have a good day today?
It was probably better than most of the week, but
Okay.
still kind of frustrated.
Okay.
I had this issue where, I do have to breast pump at work,
Mm-hmm.
and there has been complaints about the way it's being stored in the freezer, which is nothing wrong. I guess the person is just queasy, I guess.
Okay.
And I went to go try to find my milk to put it up.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't find it.
Oh wow.
But somebody had moved it and put it
Mhm.
in the back of the freezer, and and hid it out of view and everything. So
Okay.
I was like kind of upset
Okay.
about that.
That's enough to be upset about. I understand that.
Mhm.
Very much so. Wow, that's a interesting story. To start the Friday off.
Yes. I was like, what is going on? Like, how come we're supposed to be adults here, and we should all know that breastfeeding is natural.
Yes,
Milk is milk, whether it's
Right.
from a human or from a cow.
exactly.
So, what is the problem?
Exactly.
And actually approach HR about it.
Okay, well that was that's good. I'm glad you did do that because you have a right
Yeah.
to have your breast milk stored in the refrigerator at work.
Yes.
You know. Okay. That's interesting. I mean, that's the first time I've ever heard of that before. But I'm pretty sure it's not uncommon.
No, it's actually Ohio state law
Mhm.
that first we're supposed to be given a room to breast pump in that's not a bathroom, which was what I was doing up until I went to HR today about the complaint that this other person had. And on top of that, you're supposed to be able to store it. And I'm like, look, I'm already following the procedure that we already talked about, pumping in the bathroom. I haven't made any complaints about me pumping in the bathroom versus, somewhere else, like in a private office.
Right.
But pumping in the bathroom is against the law. And I let her know about that once I was told about this complaint. I guess whoever didn't want it to go to HR. And I said, first of all, we should talk about it, discuss it, and educate everybody about breastfeeding. And, not make people feel comfortable, but let them know that it's okay. So
Exactly. I agree with that. I do
Right.
agree with that. I mean, like you said, it's the Ohio law, and since it's the law, and you spoke to HR, I think that going about it, doing the protocol the way you did it was excellent. What is well, first of all, I need to go back and retract. What does your supervisor say? Do you have above before HR? Do you have anybody?
Well, my supervisor really wasn't involved in the process at all.
Okay.
I went to go find him. He wasn't available. My supervisor at first wasn't available. And then I emailed her, just letting her know what happened, how it was approached, the complaint that the other person had, and let her know, like, look, this is everything that I'm putting onto the side.
Right.
And I need you to do, be
Diligence,
human resources,
yeah, exactly. Due diligence. I mean, that's the way it works.
Right.
I understand that. That's truly understandable.
But I'm just so frustrated because now I feel like this, and I don't know, it's like another complaint was made since I've been back to work about the use of hand lotions in the fragrances. So now I feel like I'm being targeted, and it's kind of hard being like the only minority woman there. And I just feel upset and angry and confused about all of this. And this breast milk situation is just like the one for the cake. So.
That took you. That's what you call taking me overboard.
Yes.
That took you overboard.
Yes, it took me overboard.
Yeah, I can truly understand that, and feeling like you said that minority and a woman, you feel like now it's that you had your baby, right, and you're coming back and you're getting hit with all these different little, nitpicky things.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what my question is, what do you think is missing from this situation?
Well, I feel like honestly, the connection with the other employee that could have a problem,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like honestly, that person should want to come up to me and talk to me about their problems
Right.
instead of like they're even uncomfortable to approach HR about the breast milk issue.
Mm.
So I'm like, well, what's the problem? How come that person can't approach me?
Mhm.
How come they
Right.
can't approach HR? And it kind of is. I don't even know who the person is.
Right.
And I want to like for both of us to sit down and maybe like talk about the issue and come up with some type of consensus
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want it to be made uncomfortable at work, and I also want to respect the other person's feelings too.
I understand that. That's truly understandable. I mean, you have a right to feel comfortable at work,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, it's boy, that's pretty deep. I mean, I'm glad that you did go to someone at least it'll help you feel a little better, not a whole lot. I know you still got some issues to resolve because it's probably not gonna be the last situation or whatever. What do you think about that? I mean,
Well, and that's another thing, like what you just said about it. It's not going to be the last thing that I go through. And I'm like, I can't just get upset and quit my job because it's probably going to be like that or work somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why I'm like trying to work my business until I do hit that point where I can say, okay, I have my own space. I can
Right.
do my own thing.
Right.
But right now it's just like I had to suck it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm tired of always being the one to say, okay,
Mm-hmm.
how come other people can't give into what I want?
Right.
Right.
Hey, that's understandable, and I feel like sometimes in life we do. It's a lot of that with people who always are the ones who say, "I'm sorry," always the first to say, "Forgive me" or whatever. And sometimes you do. As a human being, you're only human. You do get tired of that.
Right.
I mean, that's just part of. You're a nice person, and everybody knows that. That's what it is. Wow, that's pretty deep. Unfortunately, hate that it happened. I really do.
Yeah.
But another question I have for you: what is really going on at your your workplace? Do you know? I mean, like, do you have any other kind of issues way before you had the baby? Did you see anything coming towards your way or?
Well, my former boss, before I got promoted back in January, we had our issues since 2014.
Okay.
And we're still kind of working through it. Like, we more than less avoid each other when it comes to the issues.
Mm-hmm.
So, but when I want to leave, I didn't think I had a problem with him or with anybody else.
Right.
So when I come back and I get hit with all of these complaints, I'm like, well, what's going on? I need to figure out like the situation as far as like what am I doing wrong? And I'm still trying to get back into the loop of things, catch up on projects, still connect with people.
Right.
But I'm at the point where I don't know how to address a person if they do have a problem with me without feeling like being too assertive or too aggressive or that angry black woman.
Right.
I don't want to be labeled.
I understand that. So. That's understandable. Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes you have to. I mean, suggestions. I can give you suggestions. On what you should do, and you did the right thing. I mean, by talking to HR, at least they are aware of what's going on and how you feel. So if you go to them and nothing's done within a certain limit of time, then you move further. You don't just stop there because you don't want them to think that this is just something that you just swept under the rug.
Right. Well, that's one issue that I had during the whole process. I had called my mom and my boyfriend, and they were like, well, you should really document that because you can go take that to a lawyer.
Yeah.
And I'm really like, well, should I stir up the pot? I'm not the one that likes to cause the problems, but I sat back and I'm like, wait, I'm not the one that's causing the problems. Obviously, the other people are causing the problems because they have the problem to begin with,
Yeah.
So, and then what they were trying to say is kind of discriminatory against a new mom that's pumping. And I'm like, well, I need to let people know so in the future, if somebody like me comes in the workplace and wants to pump again, it's not the same issue, and that person might not take it so lightly.
Right.
You know?
That's true.
And I'm just being as cordial as I can about it. I just need to let the HR manager know because I feel like I have a okay working relationship with her.
Okay.
But you never know when it comes to
Yeah.
some people. So, but she was really understanding once I sent her the email.
Okay.
And she said, well, I do know the law, and we're going to move you to a room, and you don't have to no longer pump in the bathroom. You're going to be pumping in the electrical room. We're putting a table and chair in there, and I'm like, okay.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Excuse me. Yeah. Well, to me, it sounds like HR is willing to work with you because that it is a law, and I know people may not have, they might have their nose turned up to you or whatever, but you know what? That's just the way it is sometimes in life, in workplaces. But you did the right thing. And then, like your family said, they told you about keeping log of that, of the information, that's, the incidents. You did that with an email. That starts right there.
Right.
Boy, I tell you, it's something. It is really something.
Working with people, especially
Yes.
mainly guys that are supposed to be adults. but-
Exactly. Wow. Okay, I have another question for you. I guess it will still pertain with the same topic. If which options do you like the most so far as what HR lady told you about what you can do and
Well, I liked how she was trying to work with me as far as the location to pump. I also like how she is. She said when it comes to freezing my milk, I can freeze it either way because right now it is being stored in the locked containers, like how breast milk should be. So it's not like it's contaminating anybody else's stuff. So she said it was fine.
right.
But she advised me, like, you don't want my milk to get contaminated, so I might want to invest in a cooler or something just to keep at my desk. But I just feel like, honestly, I don't know how long I'm going to do this breast milk journey. I might quit next month, and then I don't want to spend like $300 on just a cooler, refrigerator cooler I can keep at work, So
Understandable.
I'm just trying to do it as long as I can because I had issues with my first son, and my milk dried up, and I had to go to Similac, and it was like $20 a can. Right.
Yeah, it's pretty
So-
expensive. You're right. I mean, you're trying to go about it the natural and the most cheapest way possible. Why not?
Right.
Yeah, I understand that. Oh boy, that's something. It would be nice if maybe HR would have said they could have gotten you a cooler. I mean, because they're gonna have more than just you as a new mom coming in there
Right.
to work. They're gonna have other moms
Yeah, I
coming
hope
in there to
so.
work, and so I mean, I just thought that would be something. Maybe you could mention to them as well, and just to see what they say.
Yeah, I
You
can
know?
do that. I was thinking that I should do that, but I was like, well, what if I make the investment, or what if they make the investment, and then what if the milk supply dries up and like they made all this or invested all this money into something that's not going to be used, like in the short run. But I don't know. I just
Well, you know what? To me, there's two ways to skin a cat. There could be that freezer can be for something else. They can use it. Maybe somebody wants to bring in frozen dinners for their work for the week. It could be for employees only. And you can use it as pleased. But I mean, it just depends. I mean, they could go about it a different way if need be.
Yeah.
Or just put it in the storage in case they do get another new mom.
Right.
You don't have to necessarily use it just because you have it.
Right.
If you don't have a mom there, what are you going to use?
Right. That's true. They just have to look at it as a long-term investment.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I have another question for you. Okay, let me see. What are your criteria and measures for a successful workplace?
I'd rather have it where everybody can talk to each one, each another. I can't talk right now.
That's okay. It's
One another,
understandable.
without having any type of tension or feel like they can't approach people.
Yes.
I don't know if I give out some type of something where people can't approach me. I feel like I'm really nice, and you know, people can come up and say what they want, but
Right.
I don't know. I feel like maybe I know it's the employee morale at my job. It's like really, really low. And it's something that management is working on. And I'm actually on a team with them to help do that with other employees. But I just feel like we need to take another approach to it.
Okay,
Right.
well, that's understandable, and like you said, you feel like you're on the board, so you feel like things that need to be changed, and that's a good thing. And as long as you're working to make that change with the management, hey, that's one step forward. You know?
It's just that they have to be more receptive to the ideas from the team because right now they're agreeing to just putting signs up. And I'm like,
Okay.
I don't think that's really going to help, but we could try,
Right.
So,
Okay. Well, I tell you, every place is totally different. That if you don't, where like you said, you work around a lot of obviously men, and
right.
they've never had babies before, of course,
No.
obviously, so it's kind of difficult. And then a lot of people don't like change.
Right.
People are not. We're not used to change. Same old same. Well, okay. Let me ask you one last question.
Okay.
What could I do to support you in this time of need?
Well, right now I just feel like I could talk to you about it, and I feel like the more I talk about it, the more unstressed I get about the stress, because I feel like this has been just an ongoing situation. And I'm tired of it already. I want to already go back on another vacation from work, and I already just been out for 6 weeks. So
That's understandable. I can understand. Well, like I said, wherever you need me to help or whatever, if you feel like you want to talk or whatever, just you know how to get in touch with me. Call, email, whatever. It's
Thank
best,
you.
and I'm there. So I thank you.
Thank you.
I thank
so
you. I
much.
appreciate this. Thank you.